Well, hello. Welcome to Sama Saturday with Sama Dog, Wellbeing for dogs and their humans. Coming to you every Saturday with all kinds of good dog love. And really what we're always talking about is well-being tips for you and your dogs. Really looking at ways that we can naturally bring rejuvenation and life and vitality and a long journey ahead for all of our companion animals in our lives. It's wonderful to be with you all. My name's Amanda Ree, the founder of Sama Dog. Let me know as you're jumping on. I see some of our friends coming together today. I just love connecting with all of you in our community. So thank you so much for being part of it, for letting me know that you're here, for sharing this out. So today our topic is all about healing stones and crystals and vibrational energy that can help our dogs and ourselves, of course, as well. I don't know if you've ever used your crystals or some of your healing stones for your animals before. It's something that I've always loved. Since I was a little kid, I was absolutely obsessed with crystals. I loved all the colors and the shapes and the textures. And of course, once I learned about all the healing properties of stones, I was even more into it. And I remember, maybe some of you saw my post, but I remember that one of the first things I did as a kid, a whole summer of allowance got saved up so that I could buy a little satchel of very specifically selected crystals, as well as my first crystal book. And I still have that book. It's all beat up all these years later, but I've always loved the energy because not only is there vibrational healing potential within these stones, because stones, crystals, rocks, elements of the earth, of course, are organic. They are alive. Even though a stone, of course, does not have a heartbeat, it does have that life of universe, consciousness in it. So in that sense, everything is constantly changing, everything is in flux, and everything is also having an effect on each other. Everything has an energy quality, and at its most subtle level, everything is vibration. And it might be a little strange to think about that, but when you truly think of it, even from the scientific perspective, when you zoom in to the tiniest parts, fragments of cells that create something, essentially when you look all the way through, it turns into nothingness because it's just energy and vibration. So that said, in Sama Dog, what we talk a lot about is body, mind, and spirit, the approach that we can take through those 3 layers of our being to help and balance our companion animals. And so, we talk a lot about body when, we get into food and certain foods for certain mind-body types and herbs that can really help dogs a lot and all that kind of great stuff. And we meet with our vet once a month, as you might know, and do a Facebook Live with her talking about all kinds of ways to care for our animals better. We also talk a lot about the connection, communication, training techniques, and ways to commune with your animals in your home and have the best relationship that you possibly can. But then this really gets into that even more subtle side of vibration. And that can be into that spiritual, energetic realm. And so that's kind of where this conversation lands. So I just want to stop and take a moment to say hello. So Christina, hi Amanda, Christina, and animal friends. Yes, use crystals with myself and my animals. Love the energy. Oh, I love it. And then Christine says, looking forward to today's meditation. Me too. So yeah, we'll talk about our crystals a little bit and stones specifically. I've come out with a new product to be able to bring the stones to your animals even more easily and with some methodology behind it. And so I'll explain that a little bit and then we'll meditate. So let me show you, so when I talk about stones, or crystals, of course, we're talking about all kinds of different crystals. This is citrine. This is, what is this? I love this one. It's, you guys know it. It comes in these big chunks too. I should have written these down. I thought for sure I had them all in my mind, but you get a little nervous on Facebook Live and then you forget everything. So anyways, all of these different stones are in my life. This one name will be posted below unless someone can think of it for me. You guys know this one. It's a really popular stone. So this one is great for spiritual practice and wonderful to draw in that kind of divine energy and groundedness. Then there's always the the rose quartz. You know, sometimes it comes in little hearts, but rose quartz is all about the heart, so creating more love and compassion. Selenite, thank you, Trish. I knew someone would know. Yes, selenite is what this white one is. So we've got lots of things like that. And then of course you've even got just stones. This one was recently given to me from a friend. This is the shape of a heart. Of course, it's been buffed into that and shaped into it, but just stones that you find when you're out, you know, hiking, or we love Sedona, and every time we're there, we pick up a piece of the rock in the area. So just bringing in these natural elements, of course, can bring in these vibrations because each one holds a different energy. And with time, they've been able to, the researchers of these things and the people that work with all of the wonderful stones and crystals, they've been able to identify different ways in which the stones and crystals have an influence on us, or rocks, or anything that comes from the earth. So with that said, back to Ayurveda, which of course is the foundation of what we do here at Sama Dog. And Ayurveda is that holistic healing system of the East. It's the body, mind, and spirit approach to healing. And in Ayurveda, there's the body, mind types. So there are 3 main body, mind types. You might know these already, but just in a nutshell, you've got Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata, I call it, just to kind of simplify it in the dog world, I call it the airy dogs, or the Vatas. And then we've got Pitta, fiery dogs, and Kapha, or earthy dogs. So with that, let me just in a nutshell explain the difference. You know, airy dogs are typically a little more mobile, very energetic, typically bark a bit more than your average dog because they like to chat. They're always moving and always kind of fidgety and sometimes restless, inconsistent, sometimes hungry, sometimes not. So it's that light airiness that kind of takes over the body when out of balance, and it really needs to be grounded in order to come back into that equanimity again and be able to be its best. And when I say be its best, that means it's physical healthiest, it's mental, behavioral healthiest, and it's the healthiest relationship with you. And the most fun, right? Because a good dog is a fun dog to have. So in a balanced dog. So that's airy. Then we've got our fiery dogs, Pitta. So these dogs are very intense, focused, driven. They want to get things done. They want jobs. They want to, be action oriented. They're very smart. They typically have really good eye contact. Benny, my little love here that I'm petting, he's very Pitta, so very in tune with everything around him. When out of balance, can get too hot, can get inflamed. A very common for him is allergies and skin problems. But even right now, actually, he got a little intestinal something, and so now he's got some inflammation in his belly that we're working on. So his tendency when he gets any sort of imbalance will be towards heat, like that. And then there's the earthy dog, or Kapha, and that is a dog or a person, of course. All of this applies to all beings. So a person that the qualities are more solid, stable, consistent, sturdy, very faithful, loyal, methodical in the way that they do things, love consistency, and have awesome endurance as well. When out of balance, however, that earthiness will get a little too heavy and start to weigh everything down, and therefore earthy dogs or people need a little bit of lightening. So with that said, that little brief nutshell of each of the doshas as a refresher, I have created a collar charm for each of them. For one, because I just love to beautify my dogs, because their collar typically is their only outfit, unless wintertime maybe they have a sweater, but otherwise that's all they got going on. And so you can beautify it that way, but you can also bring these stones into their lives to balance out whatever they have going on with them. So I want to say hello to anyone that's just joining us here. And if you will, friends, share this out with the world. If you like what we're talking about, if you enjoy bringing these holistic body, mind, spirit practices to your animals, please help us get the word out there and connect with more hearts and souls. So prior to creating these collar charms, I had been using these little stones, different crystals that I've had. Here's a beautiful, another beautiful stone. Why can I not think of any of my stones that are always in my mind? Labradorite, that's what this one is. It has all the cool kind of blues and greens. Maybe you can see it there. So labradorite is awesome. I always have that one on my desk. It helps mental clarity and focus. So I would have put these stones maybe under my dog's bed, under their, under the pillow of their bed, or, Some people I've seen even tuck it into a little satchel on their neck or something like that. Obviously, dogs are a little rough on things, so it can be a little bit tricky. But this is an easy way to be able to bring those properties in. So I have a few. I've shown you here on a collar. So this is kind of the idea, is to be able to hang it on the collar like this. So as you'll see, they come. I'll show you in order here. They come on this little charm. So there's a hook. So this one is the Vata stone. So this is tiger's eye and tulsi. So each of them have a stone as well as a little seed or a bead. So they're either wood or some sort of natural element, of course. So tulsi is a seed that helps with grounding, with drawing, and it's a great stone for meditation. So it's really drawing the awareness in, connecting the body, mind, and spirit. Tiger's eye is also especially grounding and helpful in kind of resetting circadian rhythms. Tiger's eye is a really good stone to wear when traveling, FYI. So good for Vatas. This is for our air dogs, this one. And then these little clasps, as you'll see, we were very careful to design all of this, so the clasps are really wide. So it could go on a very thick dog collar or even a horse halter, I was thinking, or anything else. You can put it on a collar, of course, or put it on their crate, put it on their bed, their carrying case, put it on around their bedding. You could, of course, use these for yourself as well, or just put it in the area that your dog spends a lot of time. You don't have to put it right on them. But do know that I worked very hard to make sure that these were very sturdy. We put them on the most rough housing dogs I know, all of my prototypes, and we tested, and a lot of them did fall apart. And we tested and tested and tested and got to the point where we got some really super sturdy materials here. So far so good. None of them have fallen apart since. So these are all locally made, by the way. They're made here in San Diego by Cheyenne DeLuz, called Honoring the Sacred is her company. I've known Cheyenne for 20 years or 15 years. She's been the jeweler for the Chopra Center and has made unbelievable pieces for humans over all those years. And we finally got this chance to create it for the dogs. So just to finish it up with the other two, so you see all three of them. This one that was on the collar is for Pitta. So this one has lapis and sandalwood. You might know sandalwood's very cooling. Lapis is as well. Just the color blue, like the ocean, brings in that soothing effect that Pittas need, the fire dogs. And then we have the earth dog, Kapha. This one we have carnelian is the stone, and you can't really see it so well, but that's a little Rudraksha bead. And Rudraksha, you've probably seen them in the spiritual path or in the teachings. A lot of times they'll be on the malas, the necklaces, the beaded necklaces that we'll wear and that we use for meditation. The Rudraksha, those little spiky, little bumpy little beads are oftentimes on there. So that's the idea. They're invigorating, by the way. They're very stimulating. They're a little warming, those Rudraksha beads. So each one in its combo is at least a carat in size, by the way, because it's said that the energy properties need to be, the stone itself has to be at least a carat for the energy properties to really be potent. And so those are all there in that way. And then they come in these little satchels. So you'll get these in these little sacks with a card that explains it, as well as a handout that talks all about it. So those, I'm so excited about them, as you can tell, because they really are something that I've been trying and wanting to create for years, and now had it all come together. So I'm jazzed up about it. My dogs are loving it. Many of my friends and people that I've given these stones to already have had amazing benefits from it, and the testimonials are rolling in. So they're on sale until Wednesday, 30% off. They're normally $34.95, and so that makes it about $25 until Wednesday if you want to pick one up. So that's about the collar stones. So whether you're using collar stones from Sama Dog, or whether you're using bigger crystals like this, or stones from your garden, or whatever it may be, bringing those crystals or that energy around of the earth can really help our animals and ourselves, as we know. And how do you do that? Is, again, just put it around their being and have the intention of what the stone is there for. And I believe, and I kind of feel, that the crystals and some of these elemental properties will also just hold our intentions, hold our prayers, or hold the clarity of our vision that we want to create. Vi, come over here and join us. Maybe Violet will come join us. Come here, baby. Come on, baby. No, Vi. Come on. Good girl. There she is. She's a big mama, so it takes her a while, see? Here, we got to turn the camera to see the Vi. There she is, my sweet angel. Oh, I just love her so much, and her big head. So she has a collar charm on. You'd never know under all this fur. Oh, there, you can see it. See her collar charm there? So she's got Vata collar charm because she is still rather new in our lives, and she is a little bit ungrounded and working through some stuff still. So that's what Vi wears, right, sweetie? What? Look up. Look at our audience and say hello. Say hello, everyone. Oh, such a big fur dog. And then Benny, who has left the building, he had one on, and Graham has one on over here. I'll show you. Hey, Graham. He looks like he's a little passed out. Graham did not drink too much last night. He just is tired. This is a Vata one also on Graham because he too has been a little ungrounded lately. Benny was wearing a Pitta one because he's been a bit intense, and then with his belly ache that I could tell was inflammation, I could tell that the lapis stone was helping to kind of cool things down. Yet another tool. Is it going to absolutely transform everything around it? You know, this is subtle vibrational energy, but it certainly will have be a good tool in your toolkit. Another one of your techniques and one of your properties that you bring forward to help your animals. So let's meditate now, shall we? Take a moment to get comfortable. I love to meditate with the stones in my animals, so you can, whether it's on their collar or it's just in your area, as I said, just bring your intention to it. You can have the stone nearby. So I'm going to do some of the selenite. I'm just going to put the stone near the dogs as we meditate. You might want to do that too if you have one. And then we'll get settled in. Once you're feeling comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. And as always, we'll begin with some deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. At least 3-4 deep breaths now. Notice how each inhale can bring life, can bring prana, that life force energy, vitality, nourishment with it. Allow any exhale, every exhale, to release anything that you're holding on to. Release any tension in the body or in the mind. Release any worry or holding. Allow those breaths to move through you to clean, to release, to be detoxifying even on just a gentle level. The breath can do that in a very powerful and simple way. Allow the breath to clean the slate for your meditation. Allow your facial muscles to relax completely and your shoulders as well. Feel your whole body settling into the place that it's sitting now. Settling in, rooting. And perhaps you'd like to now bring in the intention, whether you have a stone with you or not, or a crystal or a charm. Connecting the intention to that item or just bringing the intention to mind. But just one intention for today, for right now. Maybe it's your intention for the year or something you're feeling drawn to at this moment. Holding that intention for yourself and for your dog. Share in that intention together, for we share so much anyway, and especially on this subtle vibrational realm, much more than we probably realize. So share with them now your intention and let that plant within them as well. These dear friends of ours will hold space, will provide ease and safety, and of course companionship, to allow all of our intentions to grow and blossom. They want that for us also. On your next breath out, release the intention that you've had in your mind and in your heart. Release the intention and just allow it to fade. And behind is left a quietness, a peacefulness. Just rest in this peacefulness, this space of connectivity to our breath, to our heart and soul. So as you follow the breath in and out, perhaps using a mantra or other technique that you might know, following the breath and allowing it to settle the mind. Slowly, slowly. Continue like this for a little while now. Feel your breath deepening again now, while your body stays still and your eyes stay closed. Again, bringing your mind back to your intention. Perhaps it's the energy of the stone or crystal you might have nearby. Landing that intention again in the heart. Imagine it planting like a seed in the fertile soil of your soul. Each meditation, each mindful day, we nourish that seed more and more. And now, together, let's close our practice this morning with a long breath in and out. And one more like that, and on your exhale, we'll Om all together. Maybe you'd like to place your hands on your dogs or your cats or your friends. Breath in. Om. Namaste, friends. I hope that was a beautiful meditation for you. Short but sweet. Remember, if you want to meditate longer, you can always go back and pause these things, and just let that quiet space be a little longer. Looks like Graham enjoyed it. Getting all comfortable and shit. Oh, Vi too. It's the roll on the back meditation. Look at all the hands. Anyone in favor of meditation? Aye. So it looks like this is what we're going to do for the next hour. We're going to chill on the couch. This is why I struggle to get things done in my life half the time. But I'm sure for those of you watching, you understand because you love them like I do. They're just so warm and snuggly. So anyway, very nice having you all with us. Thank you so much for being part of our community. Tell me how things go with your stones. If you've ordered the collar charms, if you are trying them out, what you think. If you just see them and you haven't ordered one yet, I'd love to hear your feedback. Oh, thank you, Melanie. You're awesome. Heather says, beautiful charms. Going to order one from Milo. Oh, good. That's great. Yeah. And actually, if you want to, Heather and anybody else in our community that's hearing this, if you're going to order one, this just adds another layer so I don't have it on the website. But if you want to order one, send me a current picture of your dog. And what I'll do is I'll use my pendulum here that I love and adore. You've probably seen it in other Facebook Lives of mine. I do a muscle test or like an energy test of each of the charms of the 3, and I can test to see which one's best for your pup. So I'm happy to do that for Milo if you want. Just shoot me over a photo and then I'll let you know and you can go from there. So thank you so much, you guys. Lots of love. We'll see you next week and many blessings to all your furry friends too. Bye for now.